We are back for the playoffs with another edition of the fastest 2 minutes in Fanthaasy sports. We start with Eldon versus El Muiz. In the battle of the league's two most controversial traders, it was Eldon who gave El Muiz an ass whooping unnecessarily spread out over 2 weeks. The Mahomes-Kelsey stack gave the Don a big Thursday night lead that proved insurmountable for Muiz, whose trade acquisitions left him more disappointed than Hina when her parents can't take Mia for a long weekend. McCaffrey was missing, Fournette flopped, Tua toiled, and now the man who thinks two-part trades should be allowed will face the podfather Dixon Cohen in the playoffs, part 2. We move to PD and Ty versus J-Mal. J-Mal may have abdicated his commissionership after some contentiousness with rivals PD and Ty, but in a highly anticipated matchup, he also abdicated his duty to score lots of fantasy points. The owner's well-publicized beef couldn't beef up J-Mal's score, as only one of his players cleared 15 points. Meanwhile, stellar performances from QBs Josh Allen and Justin Herbert proved that the securities trader, who fancies himself our league's Robin Hood, correctly calibrated his bid-ask spread when he spent big on his two QBs on auction day. Sorry, Petey's job is harder to make fun of than Tyler's when you're borderline financially illiterate. Petey and Ty move on to face yours truly in the semis. We now move to the more interesting half of the bracket in Danny Reddy versus MPD. In the battle of jolly bearded fellas, it was MPD who gifted Danny a win right before Christmas, leaving him potentially searching for a black and white suit rather than a red one. After a disappointing Sunday, Michael needed a big Tuesday night performance to surpass Danny's very beatable score. But Russ was torture Russ, DK was merely okay, and the substandard sad sack Seahawks stack slumped for seemingly the 6th successive showdown. MPD gets Riley in the next round. Unlike the show, which allegedly didn't inspire his team with no name, Danny's season ended quietly and mercifully. When you play the game of fantasy football, you win, you die, or you draft terribly but manage to finish 8th with little fanfare. Conclude with Chadwick versus Shearer. In the battle of the military bros, it looked like the almost rookie Tyler Huntley would lead the way for the kind of vet Pete. Huntley and controversial trade acquisition Brandon Cooks led Pete to a score of 131, seemingly enough to bypass Butlerdom. But lo and behold, Cooper Kupp got Chadwick close, and a miracle garbage time completion of Dallas Goedert gave Chadwick the near win, 131.4 to 131.1. Pete faces S. Kreider in the Toilet Bowl semis next week. Reached for comment, and astounded Chadwick said, "Your hook is always cast. In the stream where you least expect it, there will be a fish." But holy fucking shit, guys. That was pretty lucky, right? Congrats to Mo, J-Mao, Dan, and Chadwick on avoiding Butlerdom, and best of luck to the 8 remaining teams. We will see you next week.